everybody. How's it going?
Hello.
I'm Jazzy Shamanic.
I'm Steve Shamanic.
And we are discussing A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms today. The first episode in the new, I would like to call it the Song of Ice and Fire series, but more formally known as Game of Thrones, more popularly known as Game of Thrones. This show comes from George R. R. Martin's novellas that are set 90 years before the events of Game of Thrones, and they follow around a really plucky young hero named Sir Duncan the Tall. We're going to recap the episode, and then we're going to discuss our top favorite moments and our MVPs and LVPs, and just discuss this new show that we're both super excited about. Yeah. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. I'm really excited. I've been looking forward to this one for a long time. They announced it forever ago.
Ages ago.
And it was
5 years?
supposed to be, I think it was going to be a movie originally, and it's kind of just been in limbo for a little while, but now it's finally coming out.
I feel like you can tell that it was supposed to be a movie when you're watching it.
Yeah, I think so.
It's wonderful, guys. I love it. I'm so happy with how low stakes it is. There isn't any of like the end of the world like catastrophizing that's happening in Game of Thrones. It's just a guy who wants to win a name for himself, and it's a much more smaller and contained story.
Yeah,
set in this world that I love. I could not be more pleased with how it's turned out. The casting is immaculate.
Yeah.
What are your initial thoughts?
Of
just the first episode.
Yeah. So it's first, it's definitely it's got a slightly different tone than the Game of Thrones we're kind of used to at this point. It's a little lighter. It's got like a good sense of humor. I know Game of Thrones had some funny moments, and this has funny moments. This
show's funny.
House of the Dragon's a lot more dour, so this is kind of a counterpoint to this sort of grim, heavy story of House of the Dragon. This one's a little lighter, a little smaller scale. You know, we're not dealing with the fate of the whole Seven Kingdoms or anything like that. The fate of the Targaryen dynasty. It's really just following around this guy, and he's just like a regular guy, came from nothing, and he's just in this world that like I also love, the Song of Ice and Fire world, and it's just a really well told story. It starts a little on the slower side. It's not like, again, smaller scale, lighter tone. It's not like action packed. We're not getting a lot of blood and
there's a lot of action though.
There is action. It's kind of not in this episode.
No, there's not very much action in this episode.
Yeah, this episode is really just introducing us.
Yeah, setting up the characters.
And
Alrighty. You want to go ahead and get into the recap?
Yeah, let's go for it.
So, we open on our hero, Dunk, an extremely tall lad from the Westerosi equivalent of the wrong side of the tracks. He is in the process of burying his longtime mentor and traveling companion, Sir Arlen of Pennytree. Grave dug, Dunk places his mentor's body in the ground and says some words over his lost friend. He recalls how Sir Arlen rarely beat him when he didn't deserve it. Crying, Dunk tells Sir Arlen that he wishes he hadn't died and promises to take care of their 3 horses. Dunk chats with his horses, Chestnut, Sweetfoot, and Thunder, as he ponders his next move out loud. He asks them if they'd like to go to King's Landing, where he could join the City Watch. He draws his sword, left to him by Sir Arlen, and pantomimes stopping a rapist. "Stop raping, sir!" Dunk spins the blade as he contemplates. The sword fits his hand as well as it did Sir Arlen's, and there's a tourney in Ashford about to start. The instantly recognizable iconic chords of the Game of Thrones theme song begin to swell when suddenly the music stops and we cut to our hero relieving his bowels behind a tree. This is not that kind of story. Dunk rides his horse through the day and stops at an inn for the night. He sees a small boy with no hair at the entrance of the stables. He explains that he wants care for his horses and asks the boy if he can take care of them. The boy sassily replies that he could if he wanted to. Annoyed, Dunk orders him to see to his horses or get a cloud on the ear. He enters the inn and orders dinner, both lamb and rabbit, and learns Ashford is only a day's ride off. The innkeeper asks if the boy outside is tending to the horses, and Duncan informs her that he is. The innkeeper complains about how the whole town has gone down to see the tourney. Just then, a very drunk man in fine clothing tells Duncan that he dreamed of him. He sloppily pulls a knife and tells Duncan to stay away. "My lord?" Dunk questions, but the man slaps the money down on the table and stumbles off. After his meal, Dunk heads back outside, where he hears the high-pitched voice calling out, "Hiya! Take that!" He opens the stable door to see the small boy sitting on top of his horse, dressed in armor. Dunk shouts at him, calling him a thief and demanding he get down off the horse. The boy insists that he can ride him as well as Dunk can. Offended, Dunk tells the boy to close his insolent mouth. He'll have him know that he's a knight. The boy says that he doesn't look like a knight. Dunk sarcastically asks the boy if he knows what every knight looks like. The boy says no, but they don't look like him. He points out Dunk's shabby clothing. He asks if Dunk means to go to the tourney and enter the lists, and Dunk says yes. The boy asks to go with him and be his squire. Dunk asks what the boy's mother would think, gesturing towards the inn, and the boy says that his mother is dead. This softens Dunk, and he tells the boy that he was also an orphan. Before Sir Arlen had taken him in and taught him everything that he knew. Dunk tells the boy that he has no need for a squire, and the boy retorts that all knights do. He looks like he needs one more than most. Dunk tells him that he's better off not squiring for the likes of him, and he flips the boy a coin. It hits the ground, and the boy continues to stare at him mournfully, never reaching for the money. Dunk chuckles and says he knows that he'll grab it once he's gone, and rides off into the night. Dunk and his horses arrive at Ashford and has the castle men-at-arms take him to the Master of Games. He enters the room, slamming his head on the doorframe, and the game master, he comes to inform the game master that he's there to join the tourney. The game master, Plumber, informs him that the tourney is just for knights, inquiring if he is actually a knight. Dunk introduces himself as Sir Dunk, and tells him about his master, Sir Arlen of Pennytree, who knighted him right before he passed away. Plumber has never heard of his master. Dunk recounts the story of his knighting for the game master, telling him that the only witness to his dubbing were a robin and a thorn tree. Plumber tells him that if he's stealing valor, he'll encounter all sorts of medieval torture. Dunk begins to stammer nervously when Plumber lets out a laugh, telling him that he's just teasing him. The game master informs him that Duncan will need coin, armor, and a horse, and also training and luck if he's going to win the tourney. He tells Dunk that if he can find someone who knows his late master to vouch for him, they'll allow him to compete. Relieved, Dunk remembers that he served with the Dondarians who are present for the tourney. They will surely remember the service of Sir Arlen. Dunk exits, slamming his head on the door on the way back out. Dunk finds the Dondarian tent in the tourney grounds and asks for their lord, Sir Manford. 2 prostitutes are working nearby the tent and tell them that Sir Manford is sleeping. They offer to wake him for payment, but Dunk tells them he doesn't have enough money. The girls laugh and call him a hedge knight, like a real knight, but sadder. They tell him to come back in the evening. Dunk walks away angrily, protesting to his horse that he isn't sad. Sir Arlen taught him that hedge knights are the truest knights there are. He spies 2 men training in the yard, the bigger man beating the smaller man thoroughly. The bigger man notices Dunk and walks over to introduce himself as Sir Stephen Fossaway. He says that his younger cousin Raymond is too unskilled for him to get a good workout. The 2 exchange apple-based insults, as is their sigil, and Dunk declines to spar with Stephen. Dunk decides this area is too loud for him, and he wanders out of the busy yard to a quiet oak tree in the meadow. There he bathes in the stream and cleans his clothing before heading back to the Manderley tent that evening. Back at the tent, the prostitute he met earlier tells him Lord Dondarian is already asleep. Dunk follows her into a nearby tent, telling him that he needs to speak with Lord Dondarian urgently so that he can enter the lists. Inside the tent, the prostitutes are practicing preparing a body for burial. They advise him to find something safer to do. The tourney is too dangerous. They compare it to their own jobs, selling their bodies. Dunk is hurt by their insults and tells them that they tell him they don't mean to be offensive. They just see a lot of young men with delusions of grandeur in their line of work. The woman tells Dunk to be kind to his body. It's likely the last one he's going to have.
All right, I'll pick it up from here. So Dunk wanders the grounds after leaving the tent, grabs a mug of ale, comes upon a thematically relevant puppet show about Florian the Fool and Jonquil, featuring some very cool puppetry, including a big, really cool dragon puppet. Dunk makes googly eyes at one of the puppeteers, a woman who we'll later find out is named Tansel, as the show wraps up. Then he leaves, and he's approached by Raymond Fossaway, who we met earlier, who calls out to him, "Half man." Dunk takes offense to this, but he explains half man, half giant, which I thought was funny.
Mm-hmm.
Raymond introduces himself and apologizes for his cousin being a prick, while the two of them walk and talk a bit before Raymond invites Dunk to the Baratheon tent for some food. Lionel Baratheon, the Laughing Storm, presides over a raucous feast. Dunk stuffs his face while some folks do a jig, and then Lionel calls Dunk over to grill him about being tall and scold him for slouching, joking, "The seven above gave you tallness, so be tall, or I will name you a heretic and burn or drown or drop you off a tall..." What do they do to heretics? Lionel then gets down to business, asking Dunk what gift he brought him. Confused, Dunk admits that he didn't bring anything. Then baffled, Lionel replies, asking him why the fuck he's in his tent then. Dunk stammers, supper? That seems to amuse and appease Lionel and his entourage. Dunk and Lionel then aggressively, but in good fun, dance at each other for a bit, get drunk, and seem to become fast pals. Pretty soon, Dunk is wearing Lionel's ridiculously tall antler crown, while they slouch drunkenly at Lionel's table and share their insecurities. Dunk is nervous about the tourney, particularly about the fact that if he loses just once, he'll lose his horse and can't afford to ransom it back. And a night without a horse is no night at all, Lionel interjects. "Aye," says Dunk, forlornly. Lionel then excuses himself and stumbles off. Dunk then sees Sir Manfred Dondarrion, the man he's been looking for, to vouch for him, walking off with a couple of ladies of the evening. He follows him out of the tent and beseeches Manfred to vouch for him, but Manfred scoffs and refuses, saying that he doesn't remember Sir Arlen. Dunk pleads with him, but Manfred just waves him off. Dejected, Dunk heads back to the tree where he plans to sleep for the night and finds the little bald boy he met at the inn, huddled beside a campfire, cooking some fish. Dunk scolds the boy, who it turns out has cleaned his gear, caught some fish, and groomed Dunk's horses. The boy says he would have raised Dunk's pavilion, but he couldn't find one. Dunk espouses the virtues of sleeping outside, and then the two officially introduce themselves to each other. The boy apparently goes by Egg. Dunk threatens to beat Egg, but then reluctantly agrees to let him serve for the tourney, promising not to beat him, except when you deserve it. Later, in their bedrolls, they see a shooting star in the sky above. Egg says it's good luck, and then Dunk threatens to beat him again if he doesn't stop talking. But then Dunk looks wistfully at the sky, thinking of how the rest of the knights of the tourney are sleeping in their pavilions, and so they wouldn't see the shooting star. He asks Egg, "So the luck is ours alone then," before the credits roll.
Beautiful. Beautiful first episode.
Yeah.
Really enjoyed it.
Sets the stage, introduces us to some important characters.
It has great introductions for all the characters it introduces.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really loved it.
Me too.
I mean, we'll talk about this in our tops and bottoms, but boy, does the casting go off on the show. Like, they did an incredible job casting the show.
Yeah.
You want to get into our top and bottom fives?
Yeah, let's do it.
I only have a bottom three. You want to do bottoms first?
Yeah, I think I've got 4. Okay.
Right. You can go first.
Okay, the first one, right at the top. I didn't really need to see Sir Duncan's bare ass shitting, but I understand the sentiment and like what it's saying about this is not Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I have that in my top half actually.
Yeah. It was quite explicit.
Yeah, it was a lot. It was really shocking.
Yeah.
but also hysterical.
It was funny, yeah. After I got over the shock.
My number one is that the Dondarrions are uncharacteristically dickish compared to the Dondarrions we know from the. Well, you only know Beric Dondarrion in the Game of Thrones timeline, and he is just a selfless, like, incredibly selfless person that dies constantly. So it's weird to see this ancestor of his just being like a total asshole.
Yep. Just a smug douchebag.
Yeah. What's your number two?
All right, number two. It's actually the same as your number one. Sir Manfred. Sir Manfred seems like a real douchebag.
Yeah, he's awful. You need two hookers? You can't help a guy?
Right?
Come on.
I like at least when he's walking off, the one prostitute looks back at Duncan and gives him like, sorry about him.
Yeah, sad face. That girl, the redheaded prostitute that's in multiple scenes, she has such an arc over the course of the season. She does great. I love her. The actress is amazing. Big fan. My number two is Egg is too cute to bully. Dunk was making me mad. I was like, please stop yelling at that little boy. He wasn't yelling, but quit threatening to beat that small boy. He's so cute.
I didn't count, but he must have threatened him like 10 times.
At least to punch him.
I suppose Dunk is only doing, what he knows to do.
Yeah, that's how he was raised.
Yeah.
The montage of Sir Arlen, he said, "You never beat me unless I deserved it," and the montage of him just slapping him in the face.
Yeah.
Several
times. Yeah.
So funny.
A lot of the flashbacks of Sir Arlen are great.
What's your number three?
My number three, Plumber's constant loogie hawking.
That is my number three also. I just put it Spitty Boy.
Yeah.
Why is he? That's so gross.
It's an interesting
character
choice
trait.
for a character trait. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what it means about him as a person. Other than that, he's just gross.
Constantly hawking loogies through the whole. Even when, maybe that's in the next episode. Never mind. I'll come back to that later. Pretty much every time we see him, he's like,
yeah, he's constantly doing it. He's got something in the back of his throat he can't get out
the whole time. My last one is a little too much focus on apples from the fossil ways. But I said this the other day, like, nobody goes more than like 3 sentences without making a pun about their house sigil or house words.
Yeah.
In this land, they're constantly
That's
like,
true.
My apples are greener than your apples.
The fossil ways do it a lot, though.
Yeah,
like
they do. Every sentence. I made them into sauce.
That's my number 4 too.
Yeah.
The fossil ways sure do love referring to themselves as apples, making all kinds of apple puns. It's like, enough. We get it already. You're apples. Cool. At least Raymond is cool.
Yeah. What's your number 5 for your top half?
Okay, top 5. I just have a line here in the beginning where Dunk tells him who he is, and Egg says, "I never heard of you." Dunk says, "Do you know all the knights in the 7 kingdoms?" And Egg says, "The good ones."
Egg has got excellent comedic timing.
Yeah, he has a lot of really funny lines.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Love him. My number 5 is the Goddess via the theme song pooping.
Yeah.
That was wild. Like, I could not, like, the theme song started up and I was like, oh, I'm surprised they're using this.
Yeah.
And then it stopped. Like, almost immediately.
Yeah.
It was really funny. I get it. It's a great way to say this is not that kind of show.
Yeah.
I really liked it. Although it was a bit much. I've never seen anyone poop on TV,
right.
I don't think.
Bare ass pooping. Like, visible.
They use the, like, vomit, the, like, tube.
Yeah, it's similar they use the angle to hide
the practical effect.
Whatever the poop tube they're using is.
Yeah. It's a shocker. Let us know what you think in the comments. #PoopTube.
Yeah.
What's your number 4?
Okay. Next one is another quote, a little exchange. Lionel talking to Dunk when they first meet says, "What's your name then?" Dunk says, "Sir Dunk." Lionel says, "That's ridiculous." Like immediately, like that's ridiculous.
Lionel Baratheon is hysterical.
He's so funny.
I love Daniel Ing. I was a fan of him going into the series. He's so, I'll talk about it later, but perfect. Just
the mixture of sort of aggression and just joking around. It's very funny mix.
Absolutely.
For a character. You never like, sometimes you're not sure if he's joking or not when he says something weird.
My number 4 is the introduction of the Fossaways.
Okay.
I think the Fossaway family is really interesting. There's a lot of Stannis Baratheon's wife is descended from the Fossaways. She's a Fossaway that marries into the Baratheon family, and they just have a lot of interesting lore around that family, including something that we see later on in the series. With I won't get into that because I don't want to make any spoilers, but. The Fossaways are an interesting group, and I I've read the novella, so I knew they were going to be in this, but I'm just excited that they've got great actors in the roles. It's going to be fun to see the events of the story play out with these characters.
The Fossaways are a fun house because they're like not that important, but they take themselves very, very seriously, and they love talking about apples.
They have a lot of
an interesting group.
Religious zealots in that family. What's your number 3?
Next one is another moment with Lionel. After he's done talking and he like steps over the table after taking his antler crown back, and he steps down and he like hits his antler crown on the chandelier.
Oh my god, that was so funny.
It's a very small moment, but it made me laugh.
Him hitting the antler crown on the chandelier, and the fact that Dunk has to like dip to go under the doors and tents and hits his head, like so funny. The way they managed to cast all of the extras shorter than him, so he's like towering over everyone in every shot. So well done. My number 3 is just the casting. Period. Like Game of the GOT people have always been incredible at casting. House of the Dragon is perfect. I have some qualms about some of the later casting decisions of Game of Thrones, but the early seasons are perfect.
This show really reminds me a lot of the early seasons of Game of Thrones, more than anything.
I keep seeing people compare it to A Knight's Tale, and I think that's a really good comparison.
I think it has a lot of stuff in common. It's also a very different story.
Yeah, it is.
I saw some people when like the trailer came out for A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, people saying it looked like a Knight's Tale ripoff, which it's absolutely not.
No, it existed before A Knight's Tale.
But there's certain parallels. I mean, you've got a young and experienced guy entering attorney, trying to win glory for himself. He's like lowborn. That's kind of it. The story's completely different. Yeah.
What's your number 2?
My number 2 is actually pretty much the same as your number 3. Dunk and Egg, the actors have excellent chemistry. They're perfectly cast. They work really well off of each other. Just a really great core duo.
Dunk, period. Like, I don't know where they found this guy, but he is so perfect. He's just really got that like wholesome, like down to earth.
Yeah, it's like the perfect amount of kind of dumb and lunky with being very endearing and sweet.
He's not like way too handsome, which I felt like was a problem with some of the GOT characters. They didn't let anyone be ugly. Brienne of Tarth is a supermodel.
Yeah, literally.
I've written an essay about why that's a problem.
Dunk's descendant. Brienne of Tarth.
Yeah, that's why I'm repping the blue and pink for Tarth today.
Where she gets her tallness.
Yeah.
From Sir Duncan.
I don't think that's a spoiler, right?
No, because they don't actually cover any of that in the books. It's just sort of like extra lore that they add later.
If you don't know that, Brienne of Tarth is descended from Sir Duncan the Tall.
It doesn't have anything to do with the story or the events of the show.
Yeah.
That's something that happens later, off screen.
Yeah. But back to the casting.
Yeah.
The Dunk, Egg, and Lionel are like just the best casting. Period. I'm and Sir Arlen. I mean, really, I don't have an issue in the cast, but those three really shine. They're all just fantastic.
Especially not in this episode, but in later episodes when Sir Arlen really gets to shine. He has such a great character.
Yeah. Absolutely. My number 2 is the puppet show. I thought that was so cool. The like medieval puppets, like the giant, like life-size puppet of the dragon was so cool.
The way they had it breathing fire.
Yeah, it was excellent.
Yeah, it was really cool.
I really liked the meet cute of Duncan Tansel. Locking eyes because she's too tall. Yeah, and him being like enamored with her for being such a tall woman. Really cute.
Yeah.
And your number 1 moment?
Yeah, my number 1. You mentioned this in your beginning of your recap, but Dunk, to no one in particular, pretending to be a member of the City Watch. Stop raping, sir.
Stop raping, sir. That was so funny.
He says it so seriously.
Yeah.
It's very funny.
Like the guy's just gonna stop. Oh,
right.
The City Watch. It's like, it's sad how he learns that hedge knights are not a big deal, and he's like spent his whole life thinking that like what becoming a hedge knight is like the most honorable and pure thing that he can do to serve his, like that's all he wants to do is serve the realm and help
protect
people.
The innocent.
Yeah. It's I love the show.
When he gets to the tourney and he finds out that most of the knights really don't think very much of hedge knights at all. They're kind of a joke. And couldn't even get into the tourney without getting being vouched for.
Having
by
someone to vouch for him, yeah.
Although technically, I guess that is fair. Well, it's not discussed in this episode.
Yeah. My number 1 is Lionel Baratheon and the deeply homoerotic dance sequence that he and Dunk have.
Aggressive dance.
Yes. And also his giant motherfucking hat.
Yeah.
Is incredible. But an incredible piece of costuming. That hat is practically a character in itself. When they
so tall.
Yeah. When they cut back after the dance and Dunk is wearing the hat, I fell out. I was dying. That was so funny.
I like that moment in the dance where they're like trying. Lionel's keeps trying to stomp on Dunk's feet, and eventually like Dunk like dodges him and then stomps on Lionel's foot really hard. In this moment where you think he's gonna get pissed off, but then he like hugs him and laughs.
Keeps dancing.
The laughing storm, such a great character.
Yeah, such a wonderful Baratheon. With addition to that crew.
Yeah, you can really see the some elements of Bobby B.
Yeah. And Renly.
Yeah.
And Stannis even a little bit.
Gregariousness mixed with aggression and anger. Yeah.
Okay. We're gonna do our MVP and LVPs.
Yep.
Our LVP award, least valuable player, is going to be called the Florian the Fool Award. And who is your Florian for the first episode?
For my Florian the Fool for episode 1, The Hedge Knight, is Sir Manfred Dondarrion of Douchebag.
Yeah. Very good choice. My Florian is Plumber, aka Spitty Boy.
Yes, Spitty Boy. Okay.
He's just so gross. He was just so gross.
Just swallow.
I know.
Just swallow it.
What's wrong with you? I mean, honestly, great choice from the actor because that's memorable. Like,
super
that's real memorable. And the MVP award we're going to call the Queen of Love and Beauty Award because that's what they call the women who get the roses from the victor of the tourney at the end of the tournament.
I have a feeling we've got the same one.
I have 3. I couldn't pick one. Who is your Queen of Love and Beauty?
My Queen of Love and Beauty, fittingly, is Lionel Baratheon. How could I pick anyone else? He's such a great character. We have so much fun. The whole sequence that he's in this episode, right in the middle of the episode. He's just a joy whenever he's on screen. Love him.
My Queen of Love and Beauty is going to Lionel Baratheon, Dunk, and Dig.
Yeah,
because
that's fair.
They're all main characters. Lionel's supporting, but he's a big supporting character.
An important supporting character.
And I can't get past how good how like perfectly cast the show is.
Yeah.
and like what excellent choices these actors are.
So we talked about this before, the other night. How George R.R. Martin has like script approval on the show, and he has a much tighter control over the content of this than he does on House of the Dragon or on
Game of
Thrones. And I feel like you can really feel his presence.
He has a pretty good
show
grip on House of the Dragon.
Does he?
Yeah.
I just know I can really feel his influence on this show, from the tone
Definitely.
to even kind of some of the music choices feel like directly from him. So as far as if you're worrying about it not being faithful to the source material, don't even worry about it. It's
deeply faithful.
It's as faithful as possible.
It's the most faithful Martin adaptation I've ever seen.
Yeah. George R.R. Martin is really really got his grip on this one.
Yeah,
he's really kind of,
and it's for the better. It's a beautiful, absolutely beautiful piece. It's like watching the book. I don't even know how a better way to describe it.
Yeah.
The story's wonderful. The way they've separated it into episodes flows really beautifully.
Yeah, you can kind of tell that because it's not a super lengthy season of TV. The episodes are only like between 30 to 40 minutes. We're only getting 6 episodes, so we're really looking at like 3 to 3.5 hours, something like that.
Yeah,
probably like 3.5 hours. So it's kind of just like a long movie. It's kind of like watching the Fellowship of the Ring Extended Edition. if you were to sit and watch the whole thing after it's come out in one sitting, it's about the length you're dealing with.
Yeah,
it's not a super long series, but it flows really well from episode to episode.
Yeah. Everything, like the costuming is brilliant.
Yes.
Brilliant. The set design is beautiful. The casting is immaculate. I don't have it. Like, I really don't. My bottom 5 are just like not even nitpicks. They're just silly little things.
Yeah.
Like,
I
really
haven't found
no
any
qualms.
faults at all. Like real criticisms of the show. I'm coming up blank. Maybe I'll come up with some as we go through each episode, and things will occur to me. But so far, I literally have nothing to complain about.
The only thing I didn't like in the whole episode was Sir Lionel saying, "You're shrinking like a maiden on her wedding day," and I was like, "Ugh, what a thing to say!"
That's just general, Westerosi misogyny.
That's just to the world. It is. Yeah, you can't really fix that, but I just enjoyed every moment. It was so much fun. I cannot wait to continue covering the show. It's great. It's a really, I don't want to call it fresh because it's another Game of Thrones show, but it is fresh.
It feels fresh. It doesn't. It feels like it's very much its own thing. It's in the same world as Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon, but it's distinct within that
If
world.
the ending of Game of Thrones put a bad taste in your mouth, this will really wash it out. It's like everything I love about that world.
Distilled into a smaller scale story. Really, really well done. I'm super happy with it. I'm a big fan of armor. Medieval armor in TV and movies and real life. I love some ornate, heavy plate armor on a guy, like well designed.
Absolutely.
And this show, more so in later episodes, really has some fantastic armor pieces. Which I felt it was kind of for the original run of Game of Thrones. I felt started off strong with lots of really cool armor.
Yeah.
But then I felt like the armor kind of got lazier and lazier as the show went on.
Yeah.
And the armor kind of slowly turned into clothes.
Yeah.
I don't know what that was because they sure weren't getting reduced budgets.
No, not at all.
Maybe they just wanted to spend it somewhere else. But or maybe because the armor is uncomfortable to wear and actors didn't want to be wearing it all the time. I don't know what the reason is.
I really feel like Game of Thrones there's so much color in the Martin world.
In the books, the way he describes a lot of the noblemen's fancy armor is much more colorful.
They all have colored steel. Yeah. The Renly's Rainbow Guard, where every guard is in a different color of the rainbow. Like the Tyroshi, how they dye their hair in bright colors. Like all of that is lost in Game of Thrones. It's just all very I don't want to call it dour, but it's just all dulled down a lot. And this show kind of reclaims a little bit of that. I love like all the knights with their house sigils painted on their shields.
Yeah.
And just like all the tents set up in the different colors of the houses. Like,
it's definitely not as washed out as the other shows.
It's beautiful.
It's a little more colorful.
It's beautiful. I mean, you can tell from the stills. It's a beautiful show. I'm just really impressed, especially with Peter Calfee. Sorry if I said that wrong. I'm not familiar with him at all. I've never seen him in anything else, and he just knocks this role out of the park. He is. I cannot imagine someone else doing it.
Yeah, he really embodies that role fully. You fully believe that he is this guy.
And Daniel Ng, that's Lionel Baratheon. I've seen him in other stuff, but he's perfect for it. And he's such a completely different character in this than anything else I've seen him in.
Yeah.
But he's so perfect as Lionel Baratheon.
What else has he been in?
There's this show on Netflix called Scrotal Recall that got renamed to Lovesick. Yeah. He's one of the main cast in that show, and he's excellent. He's incredibly funny. That show's great. It is called Scrotal Recall, so take that as you will.
But they changed it.
Yeah, they changed it to Lovesick. It's about a guy who gets an STD. And it's about a guy who gets an STD, and it causes him to re-examine all of the like loves and relationships that he's had and contact them. So he's like going through the list of everyone he's ever slept with and like getting in touch with them to tell them that they might have an STD, and like they have all these like deep, meaningful reckonings about their relationships. And
yeah, it sounds like not a good name for that kind of show.
No, it's not. And it's such a it is a comedy. It's a funny show, but the name really kept people from watching it, so they changed it. And Daniel Ng plays his best friend, and he's hysterical. He's also in Sex Education.
Oh, okay.
He plays Gillian Anderson's much younger love interest, and he's hilarious in that show.
I feel like the Scroll Recall, it's kind of like Schitt's Creek.
Yeah.
Where the name kind of puts people off of the show, maybe, at first.
Just a little.
Until they eventually come around, because that show's great.
Yeah. Everyone. We haven't met them yet, but the guy that plays the main Targaryen antagonist, he looks like he's from that like lab they grow Targaryens in. He's like perfect for that show.
That weaselly little Targaryen brat face.
Yeah. It's the same place they get the Malfoys for the Harry Potter series.
They're all grown in the same farm somewhere.
But I'm looking forward to covering this whole season.
Yep. And it's a week by week release, right? Yeah. So I don't know if we're skipping any weeks. Yeah. Well, I haven't looked at the release yet.
Yeah.
And there's 6 episodes.
Yeah. So Dexter Ainsel, that plays Egg, he was previously the young version of President Snow in the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. We've seen him in that.
Okay.
He's like the child version.
He's so little.
Yeah. He's such a good actor. I mean, you know my issues with kid actors, but I feel like kid actors are so much better now than they used to be. Like they are just some next level performers that are coming out. I don't understand how they're so good.
Yeah, between like,
Stranger Things. Yeah.
Welcome to Derry.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah.
I saw a little earlier today. I saw a clip from an interview with him, the kid, and he was talking about how he was nervous when he went in to get them to shave his head. He's not wearing a ball cap.
Yeah, his head shaved. It's obvious. Shaved. Yeah.
And he was saying he was nervous, and he was asking him like, what if my head is shaped weird? What if it doesn't look good?
We'll smooth it out in post.
I thought that was very relatable.
Level it off.
If I was ever going to shave my head, that would be my first concern. Is my head shaped weird? Is it going to look okay?
The last person I want to talk about is Sir Arlen of Pennytree, played by Danny Webb, who was Morris in Alien 3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's crazy to me. He's done a ton of stuff. He has 193 credits on IMDb. Oh, and Warhammer 40K, Drogon, apparently.
Oh, is that like a video game voiceover?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's done a lot of voice work, but he's just so great.
And what an interesting character. We learn more about him as the show goes on. We don't see a whole lot of him here.
He basically just gets buried in this episode, and he's in a couple flashbacks.
He gets buried, and he slaps Dunk around.
Yeah.
And that's kind of all we see of him for now. But
really fascinating character, incredibly, like, nuanced and rich portrayal.
I will say the next episode opens with a very memorable scene of him.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He's great. He's great. At some point, we get in the series, we get Dunk's whole backstory, and see how he and Arlen joined up, and it's so good. Just everything about the show is lovingly prepared, and I am a huge fan. I cannot wait to see the future adaptations. The rest of the novellas.
Yeah. How many are there? Is there
three
or four?
There's three, and there's one that hasn't come out yet.
Oh, there's one that hasn't come out yet. Okay. So for sure they're aiming for 4 seasons.
Yeah.
Of this. That makes sense. They'll do a different novella for each season.
Yeah.
This is just the first one. Is it just called The Hedge Knight?
The first episode is called.
I know the first episode here is called The Hedge Knight. The first novella is called The Hedge Knight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Correct.
I just love the concept of the Hedge Knight.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm a sucker in these types of stories, you know, fantasy and medieval stuff. I love an underdog and a guy who's like common born and like kind of rising to greatness.
Yeah.
It's a big trope that I love personally. I'm a big sucker for it. And Dunk is like a stellar example of that trope.
He's just such a great character because he doesn't want glory or fame or even really money. He just wants to serve.
He's pure of heart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really.
He really is.
I give the first episode 2 thumbs up and 10 stars.
100%.
It just gets better as it goes. If you guys think it's like a little slow, just give it time. It really picks up. The second episode is super fun. The third episode is nuts.
Lots of great stuff in store.
Loving
it. The show.
If you're a fan of Game of Thrones, I'm worried people won't give it a chance because it's a little slower and smaller scale. But just give it time to build because it builds.
Give it at least a few episodes. It's not a big time investment. They're only like half an hour each.
Yeah, none of the episodes are an hour long.
Yeah, the longest is like 40 minutes.
Yeah,
and that's this one, I think. Maybe one other episode is around the same length, but yeah. Definitely check it out if you're a fan of Game of Thrones. I
absolutely
cannot recommend it enough in that case. Even if you're not a fan of Game of Thrones, if you just liked A Knight's Tale, if you thought A Knight's Tale was really great, watch this show. It's got a lot.
Lord of the Rings. If you like fantasy at all, you're gonna like it.
Yeah,
it's so well acted. The story's so well told, and it's a lot happens. Like major stuff happens.
Yeah.
Even though it's like the stakes are much lower, there's still some vast consequences.
Yeah.
That happen.
Some real shit does go down for sure.
Shit does go down.
Ripples through history, really.
Absolutely. I think that's it for today. We'll be here every Sunday, right after the episode drops. I think the episodes come out at 8, so our show should drop around 9. We'll post it on Instagram once we have official times and everything. But we'll see you guys back next week.
Yeah. Are we podcasting this one?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
This will be on the audio podcast.
So you'll be able to look it up wherever you find podcasts as well. If you just want to listen to the audio version.
Yes. We don't have any live after shows planned, but maybe we'll do one for the finale.
Maybe for the finale. That would be appropriate. Yeah.
Let us know what you guys think. Leave us any, comments, likes, follows, subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can get notified when we drop new episodes. We're on all social media at Cyborg Queen TV, or Cyber Queen Media, except for X, where we're Cyber Queen TV because it doesn't fit. I think that's it.
Yeah, I think so. I'm going to do a little plug for, this is not under the Cyborg Queen's banner, but under my own thing with some friends, Tales from the Harper's Pub. It's a Dungeons and Dragons live play. If you're into that kind of thing, you can find us on YouTube at Tales from the Harper's Pub.
They're fun to watch, guys.
we get into some shenanigans. And if you want to look us up on Threads, I'm pretty active on Threads, talking about TV a lot. I'm on there under Asmodari Steve.
I'm Cyborg Queen Jazz.
So look us up there and chat sometime. We'd love to talk to you.
Mm-hmm. We'll be chatting about the episodes, probably going in.
I wish I could be chatting about it right now.
Yeah. This is the best we can do for the moment, talking to each other. But yeah, thank you guys so much for joining us. We hope we see you all back here next week, and enjoy Night of the Seven Kingdoms. It's going to be great.
Yes.
Bye.
Goodbye.